Despite Battle Royale fatigue being a real thing in recent years, Naraka Bladepoint is proof that the last fighter standing formula has loads of unexplored potential. This third-person brawler blends the tight sword clashes of Soul Calibur with a frantic supply gathering in an ever-constricting circle of Apex Legends to glorious results. Its superb melee combat and exhilarating gravity-defying antics are still making me grin after dozens of hours, even if irritating network connection issues and lifeless bot matches sometimes hinder the fun. In standard Battle Royale fashion, Naraka Bladepoint pits 60 combatants against each other on a war-torn island, each controlling one of 7 unique heroes either in teams of 3 or solo. Instead of scavenging for assault rifles or bulletproof Kevlar, however, you'll search for spears, daggers, katanas, and tons more sharp-as-steel lethal instruments, along with breastplates and magical trinkets. The loot and scoot way of life will be familiar to anyone that's played Fortnite or Warzone before, but the similarities end once the time comes to put up your dukes. Charging into battle with no plan in mind against players that know what they're doing will almost certainly yield humbling results, as frantically swinging melee attacks leaves you open to parries and air juggles. Taking the time to learn the difference between standard, special, combo, and charge attacks while keeping an eye on your weapon and armor durability is vital to success. Equally important is monitoring the competition's body language, waiting for the perfect moment to cut them down. Once I understood Naraka Bladepoint's lightning-fast rhythm, I started having an absolute ball parrying and dodging in its breathless yet rewarding duels. There are also ranged weapons like bows and muskets if popping folks from a safe distance is more your thing. In my experience though, crossbows and the like are better for last hitting someone trying to flee after a close-range tussle rather than an entirely different means of fighting. Initially, I was skeptical that the 3v3 scenarios wouldn't just devolve into a mess of crane kicks and spear stabs. However, they're more akin to the tactical team fights of League of Legends than a lawless Royal Rumble. Coordinating your hero's unique abilities along with those of a teammate can lead to diabolically amusing results. My favorite hero thus far is Matari, a stealthy assassin that can vanish and teleport around the battlefield. In an ideal scenario, I'd get friends to charge at an opposing team while I skulked around behind them, unleashing vicious combos before they knew what happened. The hero toolkits are so diverse and meld together so well that there are plenty of creative matchups to experiment with. Despite how joyous Naraka Bladepoint's deep melee fights against other players are, however, bots can suck the fun right out of it. For your first few hours of ranked play, you almost exclusively face dullard AI-controlled adversaries that barely put up a fight. Developer 24 Entertainment insists that bot matches exist to ease new players into Naraka Bladepoint since the skill ceiling is so high, but you'll likely learn next to nothing from these insipid encounters anyway. If nothing else, at least bot matches allowed me to swing around the map without a care in the world thanks to how incredibly scalable Naraka Bladepoint's terrain is. If it's within sight, you can climb it, especially once grappling hooks come into the equation. There were several instances where I forgot to fight anyone because hook-shotting from treetop to treetop was so blissful, and as long as your grappling hook reserves are full, you never have to touch the ground. It ends up feeling like if Spider-Man threw in some wonderfully overdramatic Naruto-like landing poses once in a while. But no matter if you're swinging across the heavens or logging horns with an enemy, Naraka Bladepoint can fall apart at the seams if the servers are acting up. While that's true of almost any multiplayer romp, it's especially noticeable here as Naraka Bladepoint relies on pixel-perfect precision. Frustration sets in fast when a parry maneuver goes unnoticed due to lag. But thankfully, connection woes have been fairly infrequent since its admittedly rocky launch day. While the thought of another Battle Royale was an initially tiresome idea, Naraka Bladepoint is actually the refreshing take on the genre I've craved for years now. Mastering the intricacies of its combat and movement systems will keep me happily busy for weeks and months to come. Yeah, boring bot matches and finicky servers can drag it down sometimes, but both are already becoming little more than a fleeting memory. If you fancy a challenging battle royale free of build wars and machine guns, Naraka Bladepoint provides a genuinely clever spin on the genre's familiar formula. For more on Naraka Bladepoint, check out our full written review on IGN.com, and for everything else, stick with IGN.
Too late to choose an epitaph.